Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and today we are continuing our time in Hurstboro, where things are kind of exciting in a way. There was a tradesman who came by, didn't have a lot to trade, but so far we have everything set up pretty well. Like I said, my first goal, and my second, third, and fourth goal, is to really try and get together my farming community. But to do that, I'm actually going to need to get some friggin' stuff to farm with. So work on making that happen. For now, though, I have to take care of other things like, let's see here, I have a log limit that's currently set at 300. That's pretty good considering I'm at 300 fuel. And my trading post actually has, how much firewood? 150? I guess we could actually bump that up to 210 and that should work okay. So it's here, we have a lot of iron tools. We're at the storage limit of 150. How many tools do we actually have in here? Looks like we have 60, so there we go. By pillaging this side of the island, it looks like my people have gotten everything together. Now, I am running into what I said before would be a problem, which is a population drop-off. As you can see right here, I have 4 students, 4 adults. And what I really, really need right now is more houses, more people to move into houses. You can see some of my houses are really starting to get overcrowded, so in fact, how many houses do I have that are supposed to be under construction? I need stone and I need builders. So let's actually go ahead and up the priority of these houses. This is priority number 1, is to get these built. Because right now apparently I have all kinds of things that are under construction, would be under construction. Rock quarry is not one of them. I do have a mine, which is actually being worked by one person. How's this mine doing? Not too great. It actually got 2 logs from the year before. That's interesting. I don't know why my voice is breaking all of a sudden. There we go. Forest Lodge, where we've hit our log limit, so we're actually going to up our log limit to 400. That'll be fine. How's the food gathering going? Still at a good food surplus, so that is a bonus. So just waiting for the next farmer. And I will be expanding some over here eventually, but for now, I desperately need houses, and I desperately need... There's a lot of things I really need. It's just a matter of getting them in place. Like, there we go. Died of old age, need a fisherman. Suddenly we're down laborers. So this is where our town graph starts to get a little bit scary. We've plateaued. We're not having people reproduce. And what are all my building projects going on here? It looks like I have so many builders assigned to things. Like, why do I have 3 builders assigned to a fishing dock? That makes no sense whatsoever. They need to be assigned to this. So we'll do that. Unfortunately, what that meant is that I think I just screwed that up a little bit, but that's okay. So need these houses built. It's winter time. No tradesmen's come through yet, but it's going to be an episode about house spamming, and it's going to be an episode about trying to get this population up, because right now I am in a dicey position. This is what I said before. You're going to have some interesting long-term effects if you're not ready for it. And while it is good that I did expand up here and get this infrastructure ready, I just didn't build houses quickly enough, and now I'm in a position where, unfortunately, my poor townsfolk are dying off. Well, there's another kid that's born. That's good. I probably need to get some places here. There's one house finished. I guess it's all these wells, too, that apparently can have up to 4 builders, which will be nice. Suddenly our tailor is not having a good time. Do we actually have enough clothes for our people? Clothing is very important, especially in the winter, and right now, from the looks of it, we are low on clothes. Well, what do you need for clothing? You need leather. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually, because we have a bunch of hide coats here. I guess I don't really need 20 leather to trade, although that'd be good. What would be better is, once again, I get rid of this production, and I'd really like to be able to tab this in, is to just go ahead and get more coats. Like, we're getting 11 coats there, so I guess it's keeping up with demand at this point. But yeah, just houses built. Time for more houses. And I could start doing stone houses, but I still don't have a ton of stone, so I'd like to make this a field of something, perhaps, but I don't think that's going to happen. For now, we'll just put a house over here, and we'll make this a community of fishermen. While that house is building, we do need another house. And I know I am building wooden houses when I could be building something maybe a little more efficient, but right now I'm just working with what I got, so I think I can squeeze in a house right here. Yes, I can. A little denser than I'd like for fire, as we have low reserves on firewood. That'll change by the end of the year. And we're at our wood limit again, so that's interesting. I think 400 is going to be plenty, and that's from clear cutting down here. So, gotta watch the population again. We're getting more laborers, which is nice. I'm going to throw them into builders for now, at least some of them. But what's going to be more important is I will want to put another trading post down here. Might as well plan for that now. And this is, I guess I'll start one of my, oh, it's actually put in the right place. I guess I'll actually start one of my farming communities over here, because that way I can have more crops being traded, but we'll start there. And that way I can get multiple traders coming in down the river. And the market does have an important radius effect, like this, but not necessarily everything else does. So my builders are going to knock out a lot of these wells, hopefully, pretty soon. Probably means I need to untick the rock quarry, which is going to be a little bit of pain to build, and for some reason it's still paused. Weird. Okay. That's a little backwards. Speaking of pausing, I'm going to take a quick pause here myself. Alright, so Hurstboro, summer 13, and we are still in the midst of a, well, we're getting clothing again, that's a positive. Our citizens are clothed, which is good despite our clothing numbers. Education's slowly creeping up, that's going to be important, because educated people are efficient. Right now I have a lot of logs and not a lot of stone. And I'm getting a decent amount of iron. And I know I could be starting to build some stonework, stone houses, but so here, right now I do have one main thoroughfare. That's stone that goes all the way up here. Probably used to have a little bit more there. So there we go. We have nomads that have arrived in the town hall. Let's pause. I always want to investigate what kind of nomads we have. 3 nomads are requesting citizenship. Let's see here. 3 people's not a ton, but I have a small population as well. And they could be reproducing people, so that would be decent. It's summer. I can probably build another house in time. Let's allow it. Let's be adventurous. They're probably going to bring some kind of disease, but I think I'm ready for it. So let's see here. Who is here now? Our new people. We have Jewelry. Interesting name. A 32-year-old laborer. Gisela and their child. Okay, good. So I got 1 extra child. Means I need to build yet another house. Let's put them down here. Down by the river. There we go. So we'll see what disaster is about to come. Usually nomads come packing diseases. So we'll see here. I got another trader as well, so time to pause yet again. What trades do we have today? Pear seeds. Alright. So we can start to grow pear trees. So that's part of it. Wool coats are also good, but let's see here. Can we actually get... You only need 1 pear seed. So I need to get my value up to 2,500. So we'll start with 200 firewood. That's 800 right there. 30 wool coats. 20 leather. I really hope I have enough here. I think I do. 60 tools. And there we go. Herbs are going to be the MVP here, I think. So let's see here. I am 230 units over. And I probably want to have some of that being the hide coats. So let's see. Let's do some quick division here. Some fuzzy math. So let's see here. 80 units over. Let's make this 12 leather. And there we go. Trade. I can now plant trees, which is nice. So we're going to make our first little orchard area. And I think it'd be interesting to have it there, but that's actually going to be cut down by the forester. And I could put it over here, which I guess wouldn't be awful, actually, just to be down by the inlet, make it look a little bit nicer. So let's do that. Let's do some farming. Planting some trees. It's a breeze. We don't need a huge field. You don't necessarily want to max out your farm. So let's actually do this right. Let's go ahead and put the road down here. If I can, there we go. And we will put this right up to the fisherman, and we will put this straight back up here. Alright, so what do we got? We got an orchard. We'll fit right over here. And we'll plant pears. Alright, so now we have our first farmers. And trees are pretty good to start with. They're a little bit close to being out of the range of the market, but those houses should be decent enough. And the people in those households should work pretty nicely over here. Unfortunately, I think I built this in a way that I can't actually put another house down here. It's a little unfortunate, but I can afford to put somebody over here. It's not going too much into the tree range over here if I do. So we'll do that. Fix that road as well. Alright, so there we go. First orchard, 2 farmers, good stuff. Now we just gotta get it grow and get it going. Nice thing about trees is that in a pinch you can actually harvest them too. So who are our 2 farmers? We have Jill, who is now a farmer, who was a laborer before, and we have, wow, and Marilyn, who's going all the way out here. Now the reason they're picking up resources right now is that it's early autumn, there's no point in planting stuff right now. And what I really need is for some of these houses to finish. So let's go ahead and up priority for this house. Let's up priority for all this. Just see if we can get it done. So I'll have some more fisheries over here, and those are going to be really good fisheries too. So in fact, it's probably going to be a good idea for me to build a... well, I'm still within range of the market. And firewood's still low. And I'm still losing people, but I haven't been struck by disease, and usually I am by now, unfortunately. It doesn't look like a new house is going to be finished in time for this family, so that's not good. And this is not the right time to be low on iron either, but there we go. We have a tiny orchard with trees that are saplings right now. Plant in the autumn, hope they grow up nice and strong next year. Yeah, that's really unfortunate about stone over here. In fact, I guess I need to get some more of this marked down here. So there goes that trader. See, it works out pretty well. I guess I could have built a boarding house this whole time. Wow, we don't even have a cemetery here. Well, I'm going to pause the cemetery. I know it sucks that I have people dying and I'd like to have it done sooner, but you can see the foresters chopping down this really hard as well. But population slowly increasing. Our nomads are probably going to be freezing their balls off right now. So, idling. Because you're a child. And you're working. You are a physician. You are a homeless physician. Alright, so now we have no homeless people, so I guess this house is finished. Interesting. And where is the frontage for this house? I guess that'll do. And they're cold because they're in the middle of winter and they have firewood. Okay, so good. Right away, we're right here. So... you are the physician, and you have a, if I am not mistaken here, and this is one thing that I really like to do in this game, the pathing is going to be a little bit ridiculous for this house. And I can expect these people to move later on, so let's pay attention to this here. Okay, now we have, you're now a farmer and a builder. And look at this, old age, plenty of people dying and coming back, no reserves of firewood. 1 herbalist where I guess we could have 2. But then again, the reason my firewood reserves are so low is, oh boy, oh shit. What am I saying oh shit for? What happened? My teacher died and there's no labor available to replace Haid, which is not true. There's 3 laborers out there, but look at this all of a sudden. I have no students. It would have been nice to have a student, but apparently no one was available of these 3 people to actually go and start working the schoolhouse. So that means that I have a bunch of untrained people who are now adults, and they will not be as efficient or educated, which stinks, but what can you do? So build more houses, house spam, pretty important. Firewood reserves are low, our quarry's done, so our infrastructure is looking pretty decent. right now. And it looks like we're going to possibly get some expansion. It's just really unfortunate that we lost the children when we did. So, like if we look at our population, boom, our student just dropped completely. But you can see the corresponding gain in adults. So if we look at the graph as well for education, where is that? Right here, our education dropped. So that's not good, but right away at least these people are breeding, so that's good for the Nomads. Can't get over the name Jewelry. Jewelry is a guy. Interesting. Not what I expected, but there he goes. Zando as well. Alright, so we're starting to grow again. That's good. So we're getting some recovery here. Not perfect. Not awful. Really need to start watching this production tab though, because you can see that we're still producing more than enough food, but I'm going to need to start getting some use out of the mine and out of the rock quarry, because we are going to need some natural resources, and I'm not necessarily going to be able to get them from here eventually. So trading posts would be nice to have them eventually. We have more people we're placing here. We don't have spare laborers, so got to stay on top of that. Still at the wood limit. How's our hunting lodge doing? Here, still getting a decent amount of leather each time, getting some wood as well. Forest lodge, decent amount of logs, and Elias is born. So there we go. Look at this. New houses, new people. This is more of what I like to see, although it's still not ideal. I'm probably going to need to build at least one more house. So let's build that house down here, since it's derped on the hill right now. Put this here. And at least that way we can have some people close to the mine. And where do you actually live? I'm not sure, but looks like he lives right there. So yeah, having people living closer to the mine and the quarry is going to be important. So in fact, I'll build 2 houses here. Like I said, I want to expand a lot. And you can see here, look at all these kids being born. All the kids. All the kids. That's good. That's good. We're really starting to try and boom the population a little bit. We're going to be having some issues with production probably pretty soon, but I won't be needing nearly as many builders pretty soon because these wells are done. I have more fishing docks that I can build as well. Let's go ahead and untick those. Let's see, how far does this forester range? Pretty far, but not too far. So I can actually put another house right here, I think. And I don't know if I need to put a storage shed here with the market not that far off. But it's probably a good idea. I don't know. I don't know if I need a stockpile either, but probably with the fisheries right there, not a market. Probably not a terrible plan to put a storage barn right here. So we'll do that. Alright, so I think we're at a decent point for me just to go ahead and say, hey, this is where we're at right now in the game. Just quick turnaround here. Up to 12 children, which is really nice considering before we were at 4 and 4. Once again, paying close attention to those graphs and reports. And this is a 10-year report. If we look at even the, just within this play session here, within like 2 years, that doesn't show you a lot. Within 5 years, though, you can see the significant drop in clothing. That's no good. We may need to fix that in a little bit. But that can be fixed by actually increasing my hunters, and I think 4 hunters is really more than enough. So that's it for now. This is Way to Fail. Hope you enjoyed this Banished. Feel free to check it out yourself, and if you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you all next time.